Wow.
Hello, citizens. This is Rick Kakis, or Andrew, and I'm bringing you a gameplay today of everyone using the same thing. We're all using a team of 6. We're versing another team of 6 or 5. I don't really know. And we're all using riot shells as our primary, AT4s as our secondary, C4 and smoke grenades, as well as our perks are scavenger, danger close, and sit rep. And you know, this is a really fun thing to do if you can get a party of 6. It is hilarious, the stuff you'll come up with. You'll try to handicap yourself in the end because it's so fun. And yeah, but I'm not going to comment on the gameplay this time because, let's be honest, no one should be doing this. No one should be chucking C4s like Chewbacca's nutsack. And C4 is like Chewbacca's nutsack because it's big and it's brown and it's heavy, and when it comes at you, there's nothing you can do except for take it, and when it explodes all over your face, and you probably will die. And that is exactly like how I imagine Chewbacca's nutsack to be. To the dot. Now, you know what, today, I think I'm going to talk about movies, because I recently watched an old James Bond movie called Man with the Golden Gun. It was on VHS, and if you haven't watched this movie, watch it. It's so random. Let me just give you a scene here. He finds a girl who is linked to the main bad person, and so he needs to interrogate her. So what he does is he finds out where her room is, comes in, she happens to be taking a shower, so he leisurely just sits back and watches her take her shower for quite a while, and then she comes out of the shower with a gun. And so then he's like, oh, oops. And so then he eventually gets the gun away just by slapping it away, and it flies across the room with quite a lot of ease. And then so he interrogates her by twisting her arm and pushing her against the bed. And she has a robe on by this point, in case you're wondering. And so he twists her arm behind her back and pushes her against the bed, and he gets some info, and then he kind of lets her go, and she says something he knows is not true. So he just slaps her across the face. This wham! And she flies back onto the bed just because the slap is so powerful. And then, with that, once he finds the info he needs because he slapped her, he walks out of the room. And this girl is not seen again for 45 minutes of just the movie happening. The movie just happens, stuff happens, action and whatever. And then later, 45 minutes later, this woman walks. Just the last time they've met, he slapped her hard in the face. Now she walks into his room and wants to sleep with him and give him all the info he wants. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, that would be like if anyone listening was to try to find out something from a girl by slapping her in the face and then just walking away once they found it out, and then later on in their life, she was to find out where they lived and come into their house and want to sleep with them. I don't think that is going to happen to anybody ever in life. And it was just such a ridiculous thing. I was like, are you kidding me? This is so convenient. Either James Bond is just the biggest pimp, or this movie makes no sense. And I think one other movie had scenes like that where it just was so it just happened and it was so dumb. And that movie would be the new Narnia movie, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader movie. If you haven't seen this movie, don't waste your money. But if you find it on the ground somewhere, watch it, because it is funny in all the wrong ways. It is not meant to be funny at all. Is a pile of steaming monkey nipples. It's just so random. Let me give you a couple scenes from there. One scene. Their boat is being attacked by some giant sea serpent, some giant, lizard wang. And then, so the girl goes, help Aslan, who is like a giant lion, and who is their, lord. And he does, as she's like, help Aslan! And she does, right then and there. She helps them, and the problem is solved. I was like, are you kidding me? It's a little too convenient. They don't even have to do anything. They just ask for help. I was like, why is this scene even in there? Why do they even have to go on a quest in the first place? Why didn't they just ask for help? Are you kidding me? That's the whole movie. I was just sitting back saying, "Are you kidding me?" Just over and over again. Another scene I gotta say, they have to find these 7 swords for shits and giggles, and they're up to 6, and like, where's the last sword? And this lady is like, the Death Island. And they're like, where's the Death Island? And she literally points. She's like, there. It's like 5 minutes away. I was like, are you kidding me? And so here we actually won incredibly. And if you watch the kill cam, the explosion actually comes out of TCoxx's chest like a crazy rampaging spider monkey. Just explodes out of his heart. And that's pretty much it. Goodbye!